Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I clearly have bumped into my camera again. Which shouldn't have happened. What happened here? Ah, that's why. It got moved over on the program. There we go. That'll be fine. Hope everyone's having a good day. We are working on the river monk again, whatever you want to call it. I haven't thought of an official name. I ran into technical difficulties yesterday, so I couldn't stream, unfortunately. I meant to do a post about it, but I just didn't get around to it, so I'm sorry about that. Yes, happy 420. Good to see you on Twitch, Stephanie. Safe to say that probably gonna end up permanently switching to Twitch just for the live streams. I mean, like my videos, like I'm gonna put my painting time lapses and my videos on YouTube and Facebook, and then the live streams will be on Twitch. So I've been making progress on this one on and off stream, and basically gonna be moving on to this water here on this side of the boat. Get those reflections going, and I gotta finish up this building, some of the details here. And moving along. But yeah, again, sorry I missed yesterday. I couldn't get around to posting to it. Just was having stream problems. It's definitely the number one thing I've run into with trying to stream is just computer issues. Just straight up things that have nothing to do with like the content itself, you know. Let's see. Thought I had a lighter to light my candle. 1 second. All right. Got it. Oh. All right. Get my camera in a different spot there. There we go. I like the Twitch platform better. The chat and the layout is much better than Facebook on my iPad. Yeah, Twitch is just the best all around for streaming, I think, in my opinion. So once I hit 50 followers on there, I mean, I probably should just start now. Just start telling people it's only live on Twitch. That'll probably get me to 50 followers right away. Okay, gonna start my time lapse up here. Got my camera going. I remembered to put my phone on airplane mode when it comes to filming, because you get a phone call, it'll ruin your video. It's happened to me so many times. Okay. So, although this does look very similar to the photo reference, I've invented a lot of it myself, and especially like the reflections in the water and stuff, and for the building, especially like the different rooms and things going on up here. I'm going to invent all that. The monk, I'm going to have to use him pretty exactly, just for the sake of the study. Has your mom made the switch? I know she uses Facebook. I don't think she has. I doubt it. I haven't made any official announcement about it yet, but I've been planning on it. Okay. So, well, this side of the river had lots of greens for the reflection. On this side, it's a bit more gray and brown and blue. It's like the water itself has a green murkiness to it, but I think because of that, that's rubbing off onto like the blues and browns and making them all like dark blue, green, grays. So I think for the rooms and stuff, well, I think I gotta finish my details on the building, and then that will help me do my reflections, make them more realistic. I also think this boat needs to come down more on this angle, like this. But maybe it'll be fine. I'm not sure. Hey, good morning, Sophia. The water's looking crazy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Took a while to get that right. Well, almost right. It's not quite done. There's still some reflections that need to happen in here, but I figured I'd move on for now. If you haven't, Sophia, how about we're on to Twitch and follow me there, because apparently I found out eventually I won't be able to stream on all three at the same time, so I'll end up just be streaming on Twitch. Because they all just don't like each other, so I'm still gonna be uploading like my painting time lapses to YouTube and Facebook, and like the finished products, but not the live streams. They'll still be going up for a bit, but not eventually. I'm just trying to decide what colors to mix first here. I'm gonna get out my blue, my ultramarine blue. My cerulean blue. Do you need to make an account? Probably, yeah. They probably let you sign in with Facebook or something though, to make it faster. Okay, so just get my main colors out here. So I have blue, cerulean blue specifically. And last time I was working with a little bit of phthalo blue, so I'm gonna toss that back in there too. It was nice to just darken things up without having to use too much black and white. Although it does have more red in it. And then I'm going to take some Viridian, which is just a really dark blue-green. Not dark, but blue-green. I'm going to take burnt sienna. I believe that's what I was doing last time. And raw umber. And then white, gray, and black. Always white, gray, and black. second. And screw it, I'll use a little raw sienna for color variety. They're all basically just a mixture of red, yellow, and black. And white. Probably more yet red, yellow, and black because oops. Oh man, how did that go that far? What the hell? That went so far. Unlucky bounce. Okay. Got my mixing gray. Where'd my white go? I don't have white hiding back here. There it is. Take my neutrals and I've been figuring out different ways to mix. Take my neutrals, I put them down at the bottom, like my white and black. I think these tubes are about to be finished off here. So I'll just use the rest of them. Now, you don't really need to have gray, because gray is just white and black, variations of it, but I like having it. I've been experimenting with it just to like dull a color really quick in one step. And the thing with gray is it has a set amount of black in it, so like it's gonna darken the color, so you almost kind of have to use gray and white anyway. But like, I don't know, I like how it dulls colors quickly in certain scenarios. So like, I have a lot of mixing neutral gray. Cause sometimes like I like to work from gray rather than from the color, if that makes sense. So I like to like have a gray, and then like color the gray rather than desaturate the color, especially in the background. This is a lamp black, last one I have of it. I'm trying to get through this cheaper set of paints I have so I can just use the other paints. I'd assume you get more views on Facebook. No? Yeah. I would get more views on Facebook, but I gotta start somewhere. And Facebook doesn't like my content. No, I'm kidding. Facebook's just weird. I don't know. I have a hard time working with them. Okay. So I'm going to start my time lapse here. I'm going to get my round brush. And I've been doing a different technique with colors. I've been doing small mixing on the palette. And just mixing exactly what I need, little at a time. And then also placing colors next to each other so I can compare. So I'm gonna work on this bottom floor here. Well, actually no, I'm gonna go back up here. So I'm gonna grab some cerulean blue, some black. Grab a little more of that. Some black. A little bit of ultramarine. A little more black. Keep my spray bottle going. Helps the paints last a lot longer. Even more black. I'm gonna do a little test. pretty dark. It's dark enough. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to add little spaces in these railings here. But it's going to be subtle. Because I'm still trying to maintain some distance here. I'm not trying to bring full detail into this. But it will allow me to add a little bit of overlap. Make a little more depth. You have to make an account, but it's really easy, yeah. I'm starting to feel a lot more fluent with mixing my colors. Like I'm finding them faster. So that's made painting much more enjoyable. Not searching for colors. Just knowing exactly how to get there. Hey, there she is. Thanks for following, Sophia. One at a time. We'll get them over to Twitch. One at a time. Oh, I unfortunately had it going on video, not time lapse on my camera here. Oops. There we go. Basically just not caring about how perfect these railings are to add lack of detail. This one's the closest one, so I'm gonna give it the most attention. So I messed up a tad there. I'm just wiping it all off. When I'm working with these small details, I like to make my paint really watery, thin, because it's easy to recover from a mistake normally. And the paint, like almost like an ink consistency, and it makes it easier to work in little details. I almost always take a little bit of paint off my brush too. It's almost always too much. There's times where you need to put a shit ton of paint on your brush, but hey, now you all can hang out. So Sophia, I don't know if you're still there. But the new sized canvas came in yesterday. And I won't be starting on it till I finish this painting, which won't be much longer from now. But yeah. So I'm just continuing on these railings here. I got a little carried away on that one. Trying to keep my edge good with the railings. Maintain perspective. Oops. And this one, there's just a slight indication that they're even there. Let the brain do the rest of the work. Okay. Now it's like this lighter blue. So I'm gonna take some more over here. Take some white. I'm gonna desaturate it. And bring more black in. Some gray. I think gray just helps speed up the desaturation process. More white. More black. Actually, could be the right color. I'm gonna do a test. So there's like this little doorway happening. Add a little texture to this one. Keep my edges good though. It was basically an undertone, what's been here already, awaiting a highlight. And yeah, I think that works. I'll roll with that. Watered down. Give all my colors a spray here. I may have gotten too many colors out, but they normally, the acrylics will stay wet when they're in like a big pile. Here's where I'm going to try to be a little bit inventive here. I'm putting it on light so there's like a texture. don't want it to be a solid gray. Like a tiny little window here. I'll let that dry up. I'm gonna mix this gray here with the darker gray, so I get a slightly darker version. And I'm gonna draw a little line here. Actually, it wasn't darker at all. A bit darker. There we go. I'm just trying to blend the edge here. I don't want it to be too harsh into the dark room. There we go. Oh, as always, your detail's so great. Thank you. I feel like sometimes watching my paintings are a bit boring because of that. I'm just zoomed in on this tiny spot for a while. So I'm gonna bring down some of this brown. Just a little. Add some white to it. I'm going to add a little bit more of the raw umber, which is basically just adding more black. But keeping the brown. Add some gray and white. A little more black. Trying to get this kind of desaturated stone color here. We're gonna roll with this color. It's almost a skin tone. Almost. I find that a lot of things in nature are actually skin color. It's just on the bottom here. It's basically a stone wall. I'm gonna take some of this blue, mix it in here. Okay, now I'm going to grab some white. I'm going to really lighten it up on this side. There's just these little stones that are a much brighter color than the others. And then they get cooler as they go up, and then it turns into this cooler color. Up here. Probably need a little more white. I'm gonna meet the two here in the middle. A little bit of blue. Too much blue. Gray. There we go. That might be it. It's a bit bright. Grab a little bit of black. Add a little bit of blue. A little more. Try that. Yeah, there we go. And then finally, much darker version, ultramarine, cerulean blue together, just to connect it up into the shadow here. Like that. I'm going to give a little contrast to this edge here. Spray my too much paint on my brush. Okay. Hey, little friend, what's going on? Good to see you. Still working away on this River Monk random generation picture. It's just such a challenging subject that it's taken me a while. About to get to the monk though. After finishing, we're gonna get into it today. So now there's all these little. I want to finish the little walls here. And basically I'm just adding all these little details I'm seeing. I'm inventing them at the same time. Like, I'm totally inventing this floor. Like, to me, there's this little window here. And yeah, I'm just gonna roll with the little window. Keep that concrete texture. I'm great today, thanks for asking. A little sleepy, a little lazy, but I'm good. How are you today? Looks great, the water ripples look so real. Thank you so much. Worked freaking hard on those damn water ripples the other day. Gotta make more water ripples on this side. It's gonna be equally, this little space is just gonna be so much work because all the complexity right here. So this is like more yellow version. So I'm gonna grab like this yellow brown and dull it out. And there's like this thing over here. That I like. It has a window on it. That ended up being way too small. Just grab my dark blue that I have. So I already have another painting lined up. It's supposed to be a crazy colorful landscape, and I'm pretty excited about that. But I also have another idea I'm really excited about. I've been sketching in my sketchbook secretly, and yeah, that's definitely gonna be my next painting. It's gonna be like the tall wise. It's like I just have this like kind of political cartoon idea ish. And hey, what's going on? Hug me. Where it's like these skyscrapers, and they represent the billionaires and the greed of the world, and they're like super 3-point perspective, like way above you, and like this is like highway, and everyone's like going down the highway towards like the money symbols and stuff. You'll see. It's one of those things. I have it all pictured in my head. I wanted to upload a sketch to Instagram I did the other day, but I'm just gonna hold out. There's like a pole here. There's just like random poles and stuff. That edge up. I think I'm gonna do a digital sketch of it first too. Yeah, I want to try something a little more moody, you know? A little more risky. How's your day? Hug me. Good to see you here. Not sure, man. What a lazy robot. What did you ask it? It doesn't show me what you ask it. Okay. Now, I think I have enough of this building to where I can move on to the water. I just want to move on to the water quickly here while I have my colors out. So I'm going to grab some of this green. I'm going to blob it down here. Basically, I got to almost take the same colors. Just add a tinge of green to them. Just a tinge. I asked if it was sentient too. I'm not sure. Awful. Oh, I thought you were saying awful to the question. I'm sorry that your day is awful. Man, the chat throws me off sometimes because of the way it all gets spaced out with the Streamlabs stuff. Oh no, I see it now. 8-ball, are you sentient? Okay, I just missed it. There it is. I'm sorry your day's awful, hug me. I wish I could give you a hug. So let's see. There is a little bit of this bush I need to do in the water because of the reflection. So I'm just bringing out a couple different greens. I know, I'm so scatterbrained with it. Desaturate it here. It's like a spray bottle. I mean, this thing just retains its color pretty much. So I'm just gonna put it here. So I'm just gonna get some of the indications in. I'm gonna make more of this color. I hope someday I can just master color to where I just like can mix, just like throw it in a pile and then it comes out perfect. Will I have a pet elephant one day? I would say no. Oh. I can totally picture you with a tiny elephant pet for some reason. No doubt in my mind. So I'm making some of this green for the water, adding blue to it, a little bit more blue. Gonna mix this up. Trying to desaturate it back to that color I had. Still not quite there. I'm gonna start and stop my time lapse. There we go. Still a little too red. There we go. I think that's better. create my mix over here with my sienna. Basically, it is. Should I start painting? Not sure. You should start painting, I'm sure. You definitely should. Making a cooler gray here. And tapping it in. Now I've been doing this little trick with water. I get a brush, has no paint on it. Get it wet, and then just ever so gently dragging down the details I'm doing. Just kind of gives it a little bit of a reflecty thing. Okay. So I want to place a window. Actually, nah. I'm just gonna lay it out to here. It's pretty much where it goes to. And then there's like that. Then we have this line that I now added in because I said so. Just now decided I'm gonna make more of this blue. And just slowly like get this reflection going. A little bit more desaturated here. The watercolors are pretty straightforward until you get to about right here, because that's when it starts blending with the local color of the water. Now I got some bushes and I'm gonna tap those in quick here. Making a few quick greens that are relatively the same as what I did. believe last time, and gonna tap them in here. It's a bit dark. Tad a bit of white. A little bit of Viridian. That. Continue this dark green here. Not dark enough. Gonna bring in a little black. A little bit of blue. A little bit of Viridian. A little more black. There you go. So the goal is to just make this exact as you can. I realize the more it's lined up. Hey! What's up, Auntie Lori? Good to see you. Just so you know, found out recently that once I hit 50 followers on Twitch, I'm going to be able to only stream on Twitch. So you might as well head over there now, Auntie Lori, and make an account on twitch.com and follow me there at Planet Jokum. Because eventually that's where I'm going to be only, you're only going to be able to watch me. Not yet. I'm going to be live on Facebook for a bit longer. Not quite dark enough, grabbing more black. There we go. Can always just tap, a little tap of the finger will just lighten something slightly. And I'm just imitating all the shadow I created here. And you know, the bigger, more obvious shapes are the ones that I think bring out the realism if you copy those. The most closely, like that one, and then this was already kind of happening, wasn't it? That, and then there's like this thing, and then this one. A little more paint. That. Little point. And I can fix that with the green. Grab my lighter green here. That has a little bit more blue in it. And you know what? It's not quite grayed out enough. Making a dark green again. Bringing back the darks that I covered up there. Getting rid of all those tiny white dots on the canvas. Makes it look more finished. That. And then what happens with the details in the water is they start like clear and then they like zigzag and start getting all funky. So I made up these bushes, so it's not even worth it for me to look over until they're done. I'm not even gaining anything. It's a bit too green. Try that. There we go. That's what it needed to be. So that's where the gray came in handy, where I didn't want to, because white tends to really destroy. Okay, that arcs up there, and there's like that, and then the bush goes all the way up here, and then drops back down like that. Alright, the beginnings of a reflection. This got a bit crooked. And it's almost like the whole thing is like this dark, murky color I gotta get going. See if I can make this color here. Add some blue. I feel like it's something like that. Start there. It's just kind of Basically, I gotta make iterations of this color mixed with like the shit below it here. Like so it's like a dark blue green. It's kind of like the color I used for the dark rooms, but it's a little bit more green. I think. Not quite. Not quite. A little darker. I'm here just lurking while I draw on my tablet. Awesome. I'm definitely aiming towards having one of those iPad Pros someday. With the Apple Pen. I've recently become obsessed with the idea. They're just way too expensive. But yeah, totally. iPad Pro with the Apple Pen someday. That shit is amazing. To be able to just color study on the go. One day. Yep. Need to go a little darker. So I'm making this black, or this gray, a little bit more green, water oriented here. Everything in the water, I'm just grabbing a tap of green to express its local color. And then I'm just kind of letting the detail fade out here. So this is like a green, this is like a green gray. Something like that. Just the remnants of the reflection. And then bring out a little bit more. Okay. Get my spray bottle. Yeah, there's a limit to how much you can keep wetting the acrylics to the point where they stop covering, but you can get away with it for a while. Just grab this darker viridian here and put in this line. It's almost like I'm gonna try a canvas mix here. Canvas mixing is basically just when you get two colors and put them on quick so that they're wet and blend them in. Not quite here. Let's try that again. It's just the color. It's just the exact color, really. A little bit brighter, maybe. Let's try this color. There it is. And then this guy is going to be here. Let those get all ripply. Ripley's, believe it or not. Worst pun ever. What's the largest painting I've done? Well, there's the largest painting that... Hey, you two, take care, hug me. Thanks for hopping in. I appreciate you. I hope your day gets better. Take care. Enjoy your day. What's the largest painting you've done? The biggest one I've attempted so far and didn't finish was a 2x3 foot. So like... Hey, what's up, Mom? 500 stars on Facebook, man. Thank you so much. Guess the time's to tell her to hop over to Twitch now, huh? Mom, you gotta hop over to Twitch. Thank you so much. Jeez. Twitch and YouTube. And I just recently got in, back to Stephanie, I recently just got in 18 by 28. I think it's 18 by 28. So it's half the size. It's the streaming website. So basically I found out once I get to a certain point with them, I can't stream on all three platforms at the same time anymore, so I have to pick one. And basically, I just think Twitch is the best out of the three I have to pick. So I'm just barely taking some of the screen here. You just go to twitch.com and it's like anything else. Yeah, it's also an app and a desktop. You can get the Twitch app. It'll make it easier. I'm still gonna be uploading to Facebook, like the time lapses and stuff. But yeah. Water, the only way I approach water now is just layering. Lots of layering. Especially water that's like super detailed like this. I'm gonna be fixing the perspective of this boat too. It's not quite. Oof. It's fine. Yeah, this is still on Facebook. It's still on YouTube too. Planet Jokum's gonna be on all three. Just the actual live streaming aspect to it is eventually gonna move just to Twitch. It's for gaming and it's for everything. They have more support for artists too. There's a whole art stream. I mean, people stream everything on Twitch. They'll stream just like sitting there and talking, and they call it like just chatting or something. Canvas mixing is great with water effects. It's like the way to do it in my opinion. Okay. Okay, I'll download it now. Do I switch over to app now? Yeah, it'll still be up. It's wherever you tune in, it doesn't matter, really. I'm just carrying out the faint reflections here. Now there's just a brighter version of this color coming in. Okay, here goes. See you on Twitch. get this faint color here, kind of water it down. And get this little soffit here in the reflection. It's like kind of, it's not going to be straightforward. It's going to be indicated, but the ripples are going to be messing it up. Kind of like that. Introducing more white, brighter versions. It's probably a bit much. Just slightly. Hey, there she is. RC Goldfish. What's up? Welcome to Twitch. Now you're hanging out with everybody. Stephanie's here. Yay, thank you. Soon we won't have to worry about all this, and it'll be easier. Getting more white. Just adding in these little reflections here. Not quite bright enough. Try that. I wish I could zoom in while you painted. Yeah. Here, I'll give you a little close up. Yeah, I've thought about how to do the zooming in thing while I paint, but it's just not really practical right now. Don't really have the proper equipment for that. So there's like these little reflections going on. Found this way to make them with the brush. Drives me crazy when I can't see. What are you watching it on your iPhone? Because I think either way, it's gonna look tiny on your phone. Yeah, I've experimented with that, and it's tough to get it to look good, especially with the crappy webcam I'm using. You have to put an exclamation mark before 8-ball. So that's the command. So there's commands in Twitch is another reason why it's more fun than Facebook. And basically you type exclamation mark 8-ball space and then your question. So I got a little carried away with the color here, so I'm going to No, So no spaces with so exclamation mark, 8-ball, no spaces in that, like just a space between that and your question. You got this, Mom. I know you were a programmer back in the day. C++. So just exclamation 8-ball is one word, and then the question should have a space between exclamation 8-ball and the question. Yeah, exactly, Stephanie. So I missed a little bit of this reflection over here. There you go. Now it's working. 8-ball. Oh yeah. I won't recommend it. See, chat's more fun in Twitch. So I'm just tweaking these little water reflections here. Can spend hours on just that. But I am going to get to blocking in the monk after break here, which I'm excited about. Been anxious about this monk, how he's gonna come out. Do you suck? So right above the bush. It's important to get the little details and reflections right, because it really makes it mirror, I realize. It's easy to be lazy with like the reflection details because you don't feel like drawing it all again. But yeah, it goes a long way. Are redheads hot? Yes, redheads are hot. Oh, it didn't answer you. Of course, just testing its accuracy. I'm gonna start my time lapse real quick. Trusty water spray, keep my colors wet. The colors of the bushes are a tad bright. See if I can dull that down. Yeah. There we go. Where did the painting idea come from? I love it. So basically, I've been like color studying my face off, and because of that, it's like I've already pumped through like 15 different subjects, and I found myself the other day wondering like what to paint, like what to study, because like I mean the best thing to study in my opinion is going out into nature and studying the colors you see in real life, but sometimes you just can't do that. So like basically I found a random image generator, so it's just this button I can click, and it'll pick anything on the internet, from a table with a teapot on it to a black hole in space. Like it'll pick anything. And so I went through that for like 2 hours the other day, and I saved like some of my favorites that popped up, and this was one of the ones that popped up. It was like this river monk boat guy, and the whole point of exercise is to train my eye with color and color mixing, but to also increase my repertoire of memory with things also. So like I have the picture over here, but I'm trying not to always look at it for certain things. I'm trying to keep my imagination going, so I'm not like totally reliant on the picture. And so I'll take it upon myself to. That's what I mean when I say like I'm inventing. I'll be like, I'm inventing right now, and that just means I'm basically making it up. Like in the picture, the bushes here on the side aren't as big, but I just like how it looked. And there's tons of things, like the houses aren't the same over here, the trees aren't the same, the water isn't the same, the reflections in the water are like the shape is the same, like where the reflection is, but as far as the minute details of like the reflections, I made all those up and just kind of figured it out. Yeah, it's a photograph in the style of Jokum, yep. And eventually, my plan is to kind of weave it out of like 10 reference studies into an original that's like totally out of my head and make it up. And I think if I keep like kind of swapping back and forth between those two worlds, I'll eventually be much better off with painting out of my head. It's just another learning phase I'm going through, basically. I'm gonna take some of this blue here because I realized I didn't finish. Filling all those little white dots in that don't need to be there on the canvas. Something like that. It's awesome in terms of subject. Yeah, I really like this one. I was timid about the guy on the boat, but I was like, you know what? It's only I just gotta dive into people at some point. You know. I'm doing a study on rope and knots right now, a series of 3. Very tasteful. That's awesome. Drawing knots will definitely improve like your line work and the intentionality of your lines and your overlap and your foreshortening, and yeah, that's a good subject. That'll really improve your drawing rope. Okay, I'm getting pretty happy with the water over here to the point where I can always come back like over here like I will at the end of the painting and kind of fix it up. Put the final touches on it. But it's important I get this monk blocked in now. It's the only thing. And I just really wanted to get the background done because what I didn't want to have to do is like, and I've also cut like a millimeter into the monk's drawing because I want to be able to cut back into this background. So I painted a little bit into the monk, a little bit into the boat, because I think I'll end up wasting more time having to repaint the background towards the monk rather than having to paint the monk over the background. And so I can kind of come into the monk towards the background here and sculpt it out, and at least I'll have like 2 or 3 tries on the silhouette of the monk before I'll have to recreate background color to come and fix it. Because the thing is, you look along this edge, you know, it's so different from here to here. All the different colors I'll have to make to like fix the edge of this monk is crazy. I mean, I know how I made them when I can get there. It's just I'm trying to prevent those mistakes. So before I do the monk, like right here, I'm gonna bring in that color back a little bit more. There's the saturated kind of rust color I was using, so I'll remake that. Look at that, I matched the color perfectly. Kind of know what I'm doing now with color. It's nice though, it's like, it feels nice to not be lost. You know, not be able to find one. basically. Actually, that's gonna be a gray. It's gonna be like a gray here. And then it's hard not to get the paint's all wet right here. It's hard to get in a good hand position going on. And again, I'm going to cut a little bit into the monk here. Because that was a bit... I want to master canvas mixing. Because... Alright, this color needs to be remade a tad here. Some blue, some black, a little bit of white. Edge here got a little out of hand. Color's too bright. Gotta add more black. There we go. That's the color. Found it. Oh, it's so hard not to touch the canvas. Let me go right hand here. Okay. Definition comes into focus when you have black and white marks. That gives it depth. Yeah, for sure. No doubt. I'm just stepping back from the painting here for a second. Okay. Pretty happy with the reflection for now. Oh, there's one thing I'm missing. One thing. Your gallery is really progressing. Awesome, yeah. I'm finally feeling I'm starting to build up some collection here. Of finished products. That's what's important, the finished products. I want to finish. Up there. We gotta do this. Again, I'm cutting a little bit into my sketch, just slightly, because I want to be able to have a few tries at it without having to recreate background color. I know that's too thick, but I'm gonna fix it with the black. Or the dark blue, I should say. Dark blue. And I'd say they'll be coming like right here. There we go. A little darker. A little darker. Touch of black. Gray, just to fix this line again. There you go, I'm gonna leave that be for now. Amazing work. Is there a rower behind him? Nope. So the tip of the boat, it's one of those boats that are really pointy and like has a really pointy tip. And that kind of goes behind him. You can't really see it. Maybe just probably boat probably ends right behind him. He has something behind him, like a chest or something. But I didn't sketch out everything. I just sketched out the main things. So pretty happy with like that part that I wanted to get done to start for today. These reflections needs to be a little bit whiter in the main ones here. But cool. About to move on to the monk. I've gone about 2 hours. I'm gonna go take about a 7 minute break and stretch my legs, get out of this weird position I have to sit in to be in front of the camera. But stick around if you want to hang out. I'm gonna be painting a while today, so I'm actually gonna try to finish this, hopefully. Maybe not on stream, but definitely a lot of the way. But be right back. Here's the video for you. Hey, alright. Time for the monk. Ah. So, where is... let's see. I gotta get my razor blade. I thought it was in here. So, big benefits to having a glass palette is take this razor blade and it's just like insta clean. Clean me off a spot. I gotta go get myself a paper towel quick. Alright. Just had to get some paper towels to wipe off the razor blade. I'm addicted and want all of his work. Stephanie, you're truly the biggest fan. Oh man, you're the best. I'm glad you guys like the squirrel video. I make those funny videos for like the intermission screens, just for something y'all have something to look at. Those are actually squirrels I filmed on my porch. I set up a lot of peanuts and stuff for them to try to get. It's fun. Backing this up a bit. Better when it's dry, but it still works. I want more of those videos. They're entertaining. Alright, you got it. I need you to appreciate it, Mom. It's funny, one of those girls' name is Steve. I was just thinking that. Stephanie, definitely the best. Yes, she's awesome. I don't even remember the last time I saw you in person. To be honest, Stephanie. If it's ever been. I don't even know. Sorry. Sorry if there's some big memory you have with me that I'm supposed to have. But I truly don't remember. Okay, so I think this guy's skin... trying to think about what colors I need to make here. Definitely the dark blue. I feel like this is like a... raw sienna kind of thing. Raw sienna for the boat. gonna bring in some yellow on my palette. We've never met, so we have to fix it. Oh, that's why. Huh. There you go. That'll be why. You've never met in person yet, unfortunately. You don't know what you're missing. Sounds like we'd have a good combo around the fire. A cup of beers, you know what I mean? I'm gonna replenish my white, my gray. Yeah. Finished another tube of white. Nice. It goes for both of us. Okay. Let's see. He seems to cross into the burnt umber. His skin seems to cross over into the burnt umber. So I'll have more of that out. And also the raw umber. Gonna use them all. Probably not a good idea, but I'm going for it anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the sienna and get this pole sketched in. Now, what's interesting about sienna is it's such a yellow brown that if you start darkening it, it almost looks green, which is cool. Haha. Gotcha. Hopefully I can make it. It'd be awesome to meet you. So I'm gonna use my flat brush to get a nice straight edge. Get water in it here. And I'm gonna kind of color mix here for a second. And get a relatively dark tone here. And I'm going to allow it to sit on this green. It's going to have some green reflected light from the water here on the bottom, believe it or not. So I actually need to get a little bit green. Now I'm going to take some black. You can see it almost turns green. Like an almost green, like it's like the brownest army green you can possibly think of. And speaking of that, I'm gonna take a dash of blue, throw it in there, a little bit more. What the blue is going to do is it's going to turn it a little bit more green. So glory be, Twitch lets you zoom in. Oh, does it? Nice. Twitch lets you zoom in, huh? That's dope. I did not know that. Well, there you go. You guys can zoom in all day then. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. What do? You just like do like the pinch zoom thing with your fingers? Bring some white into this color and see what I made. some yellow into it. This is gonna be a tough color match. That's awesome. I just want to see. It's not quite the color. See what happens if I whiten this up. It's gonna turn pink. That's gonna be more for his skin. Okay. I feel like yellow ochre is what I need. Try yellow ochre. Yeah, I think that's more what we're looking for. I'm mixing it with neutral gray to dull it down a tad here. I'm gonna grab some black. I think that's much closer. Yeah, that's much closer. This feature definitely makes Twitch the way to watch live streams. That's awesome. Good discovery. Good discovery. This is the base color. I'm gonna go a little bit wider for perspective. Got a little watery on me. I'm actually having to do this with my right hand right now because can't get a good angle. I'll switch to this brush. So I'm gonna make some correction color already, because I already messed up. And I also didn't fill in this spot anyway. Yeah, this is better than Facebook. Should there be more yellow in this painting? I would say no. The 8-ball has spoken. It's not that it's actually yellow. I guess what I'm saying is like the yellow I need to use in the brown in order to get that color. Concentrated here. Should Bigfoot be in the original? You love Bigfoot, huh, Stephanie? The 8-ball is kind of a little snarky. Drawing straight lines with paint is not easy. Gotta take it slow. You almost gotta kind of craft edges with paint. It's hard to draw one big straight line. I find dots to be a big helper in placing things visually. If you don't want to commit to a line yet, just divide the line into 3 or 4 parts and put a dot on each of those segments. And for some reason, your brain has an easier time. And dots are easy to hide. I'm gonna grab some of this blue. Get this edge fixed up here. So this is like his oar that's like rested on the boat. Oops, rogue water drop. Gotta watch out for those. The little details. Just trying to get my edges sharp here so I can move on. Not have to think about it anymore. Sometimes just certain parts of the painting have to look complete for me or it bothers me. And I can't like focus on the rest of the painting. I don't know if that makes sense. Or if that's just an OCD thing. Okay. Mixing color is becoming really fun. Like just the act of mixing it on the palette is, I mean, before it felt like a chore, but now it's starting to feel fun. Because now I know where I'm trying to go with it. I think that's what contributes to it. This edge is a bit weird right in here. And sometimes you just gotta add one dot of paint till it looks right. Yes, sketchy 8-ball. Alright. It's tricky to get these lines to look right when you go over the little rounded edge of the canvas. That's a good one. I'll give the 8-ball that one. The answer is within yourself. Okay, so now there's a super desaturated actually it's just like almost gray. And I'm just marking where the boat edge is gonna be because it's just such an obvious line. And I'm gonna even go a shade lighter here. Something like that. Do a test. Goldfish is my totem animal. I thought it was frogs. Or it's both. You like frogs too. Jokum, you have a birthday coming up. You'll be 29, the same age I was when you were conceived. Ah yes, there's that synchronicity again. Ha, really? I didn't know that's when I was conceived. Well, let us be born again on May 7th. Oh, I noticed my camera's a little glitchy here in the bottom. That happens. It's just a wire thing. Yeah, 29, wow. That happened, huh? That was quick. That was a quick 29. Crazy. I had to go look closer for a second at the picture. Couldn't see. I love frogs and turtles and lizards, but goldfish is special. Gotcha. You were due to arrive on April 28th, which is Auntie Cheryl's birthday, but you weren't ready to face the world yet. Childbirth is crazy. Building up this edge here. It's a little bit fatter. And immediately goes skinnier. Just gotta take my time with these lines. Kind of like that. And then it goes straight. More straight anyway. Oops. It's Dean Lee. What's up? It's looking so good. Thank you. I was here a couple streams ago when you were working on the left side. Oh, awesome. It's cool to know that you've been watching some of the progress. Thank you so much. Yep, finally on the monk here. Or the boat, I should say. Slow and steady. Had a couple days off. One on my sketchbook. I like to take a couple days off here and there and draw. Keep my drawing skills up. Now it actually gets more gray here. Like literally it gets more gray, so I'm just gonna add gray but keep it the same value, hopefully. It's roughly the same, I think. Childbirth sucks. Like, what kind of a creator thought of that one? Let's force the baby through a hole no bigger than a quarter. Yeah, I mean, no kidding. Shit. Not really well thought out there, huh? Should've just made it so you poop out these like really tiny eggs, right? And then they just like grow to like this big eventually. You just like little tiny egg. I think birds had the right idea with the eggs. So it turns gray right about here. There's a split right at the beginning of the piece of wood. Turns gray, or just it's wood, but it's like old wood. Get my spray bottle and refresh the paint here. Ready to go. Ah. No, it wasn't. And then it gets roughly almost the same thickness again. Almost. Something like that. Now, I've been practicing trying to nail the colors right off the bat. If I can. If I can. It's always nice to play it safe and you do layering. But if I can nail it right off the bat, then it just saves me so much time. And the cool thing about acrylics is you don't have to really worry about how they're so transparent or how they blend as much because they dry so quick. Is that just water in the Sperry bottle? Yeah, it's just this like old hand sanitizer spray I had, and it's I just fill it with water, and like every 5 minutes I'll like just mist my whole palette, and it really helps me work with the colors for a lot longer. And if you have high quality paint with like, you know, I mean I spend the money on the super nice like heavy body professional acrylic, so the pigment is like super intense. It doesn't lose a lot of color when you water it down. I pushed it probably. I've pushed it like, probably like 20 hours where I had a palette, and I wet it the whole time, and then I saran wrapped it at night, and the next day I took the saran wrap off, and the colors were still there, and I only took it that far because I had trouble finding these greens that I was trying to get right, and I like finally found the great greens, and I just didn't want to have to mix it the next day. But yeah, almost 2 days, like, or 2 entire sessions of painting, kept the same paint. What eventually happens, it gets watery and transparent, it starts acting more like watercolor. Yeah, I'd say it worked better. I want to get myself one of those palettes that actually have the lid that close, and I think that would be more ideal. But yeah. So I'm just taking the rest of my black and darkening a little portion of it over here. And gonna grab more yellow ochre and more black. Sometimes I just end up painting something quick with leftover paint. Yeah. Totally. I mean, I know a lot of people are into oil more because of how long it takes to dry. And it's nice for that reason, but I did acrylics because I don't want to deal with all the harsh chemicals, and I also just think it comes out kind of like digital drawing on canvas. I just like the way it looks. The colors are really, really vibrant and bright, and they really go over each other, and they're harder to blend, but because of that, I feel like when you get used to that, it's like, it's powerful. So I'm getting it more towards this color here. And I've recently got neutral mixing gray, which they don't come in the normal color set, so you have to order them separately. But boy, do I love my neutral mixing gray. It's like you can get any, you don't need it. Like, you just need white and black. But I've noticed that sometimes it's like a different version of white. It'll like either brighten or darken a color and dull it at the same time. I don't know, it just kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone. And sometimes it gets me the color I'm looking for faster. Yeah, I honestly don't have the patience to wait for oil to dry on canvas. Yeah, same. And that's the other beauty of acrylic, is I think that like you can fix the mistakes you make much quicker, you know? Like if you mess up a line, you only gotta wait 30 seconds, blow on it, and then you can paint right over it again, and I definitely value that. Okay. Now I'm taking this color. Do a little test. This is like the thickness of the sideboard here. And it's a bit dark, but that's okay. Not worried about the bottom edge as much as the top edge. Turns much more back to yellow here. I'm almost gonna take this believe it's called Raw Sienna. A little bit of mixing gray. A little bit more of the mixing gray. Something like that. Now there's a little line here where these two boards connect on the boat, and I'll deal with that later. And the top edge is what I'm most focused on. And what I mean by that is the top edge of this line. That's what I want to be the sharpest, because I can always just fill in from the right and fix. I can imagine though the water spray bottle wouldn't work as good with low quality paint, I'd say. Like the basic, but it could. You know, I'm talking like when you're extending it multiple days. I just know that low quality paint already has more trouble keeping its pigment to begin with. Never mind adding water to it. So it's not perfect. There's this like bitter red sienna that's kind of happening, or burnt sienna I should say, right here. Nice. Yeah, that's super fair. Yeah. Yeah, because I've experimented with it, you know, because I'm like, you know, this set of 12 hues is $112. I'm like, okay, like what's the difference? So I bought like the kit that has like all the side colors, like really, like, you know, sap green and hooker's green and cobalt blue and ultramarine and, you know, vermilion and like all the side reds and stuff, and like, but the paint's lower, like medium quality. It's not like beginner's quality. It's like in the middle somewhere, and definitely noticed the difference. Like I have to use more of it. Like the pigment doesn't translate as much, and the biggest thing I notice is when I'm mixing the paint, it's way less powerful, so it'll take over the other paint way in a way weaker fashion. Like, and like if I take like that cheap paint and I mix it with the expensive paint just like destroys it. Like there's so much more pigment in that expensive paint, it just overtakes the lack of pigment in the other one. Like even white, it's like white will desaturate. Like white from an expensive paint will desaturate and brighten cheap paint like so much faster. It's like you just I've gotten used to it to where I just use less white and then I get the effect I want, but it's just something I've noticed with it. Yeah, I'm using cheap acrylics now, so I'm sure the water will dilute the colors. Try it. Like I think it's worth, like, as far as like, I mean, because diluting paint with water is a technique, and you need to use transparent techniques to get certain effects. So like, there's always acrylic with water and dipping your brush in the water, but like, as far as like extending a palette for multiple days, I think that's where the cheap paint would probably maybe fall behind a little bit. But it all depends on how you did it. I'd try it anyway. It's mainly nice just for while you're working, you know, like when you're mixing the little colors on your palette, and it normally you tend to flatten the paint out in a thin layer on the palette so it dries fast, right? It's just, it helps keep that moist. And basically just spray it till it looks like it's about to start getting runny, and that's more than enough. I've also started wetting my palette too before I put the paints on it, and I have a glass palette. I recently upgraded to a glass palette, and it's life changing. It's the best. Glass palette all the way, with particularly a gray background. because I was reading up on how when you have a gray background on your palette, you see the colors in a more truer fashion. You're not getting the colors behind it in transparent or like on a wooden one that has, you know, because if you're on a wooden palette, you're pretty much mixing your colors over like yellow ochre with white in it, you know, so everything's reacting to yellow ochre with white in it, especially grays, because grays pick up whatever color they're next to. So the gray background palette. The colors just tend to cover a little bit worse with water, really. And then they dry and cure exactly like watercolors, where light colors dry darker and darker colors dry lighter. Yeah, I've just come from experimenting. Okay, and gonna meet these two colors in the middle. Get what they make. Carry that out there. Just a little bit. And there is a little ambiently occluded line here that will separate this board. I'm just getting some color laid in for later. It's a little bit more red though, honestly. The wood on this boat is crazy looking. It's gonna like on the photograph, it's gonna. It's like all old and shit. We'll bring some more of this over here with some mixing gray. And let's see what this color looks like. There we go. All right. I'm pretty broke right now, so I just use a trash bag. I hear you. I hear you on that. Believe me. I'm going to take this dark blue. It's almost an ink consistency. And I'm going to indicate this with a line here just to get it in my head. Like that. take dark greenish, brownish. Lighten this up a bit. Actually, that was the wrong color, wasn't it? It was this color. There's the base color for that. Cool. And on that note, realizing the time, that will be the stream for today. I'm going to be continue painting, but just want to do a 3-hour one. And finished up all this building and this reflection here, and basically that's really huge for me because I really wanted to get this water done, and this painting is pretty much just gonna take off the rest of the way after that. But it's so good to hang out with you, Mom and Stephanie. Love you guys. Good to see you, Dean. And I'm so glad I was chill, man. And I'm so glad you enjoyed watching it. I really do. Because that's what I'm going for. I'm trying to make it chill, you know? Trying to keep it chill. Chill music, chill vibes. I encourage people to get their art supplies too and come hang out and draw, you know? That's definitely what I want to encourage. Just, because it always inspires me to watch someone else do art, you know? And I just always find it so fun when everyone's drawing, you know? I just love sitting down and drawing. But anyway, thank you all so much. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. It's Wednesday. And maybe for the final touches on this. Maybe we'll be starting a new painting. I already have some ideas. But enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Yes, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. And I'll see y'all later.